I've got a lot of respect for you. I went to Everest myself, but unfortunately got acute mountain sickness just before base camp, so it's horrific. That was about 17,000 feet up. But look, I was curious to know what it was like going into the death zone, and maybe just explaining what that was like. And I'm curious how your mind kept you going through it, because I know that's obviously life and death. Can you share that a little bit?
The best, I work with the Scouts a lot, so the best slogan I've ever heard isn't "Who dares wins" or something like that. Respect to them, but it's "Be prepared." So "Be prepared" is a great thing to use in business, in self. Getting up in the morning, whatever it might be. Be prepared. And every day of that 72-day approach to Everest, I thought about the last day of going up to the summit, the last movement up. So everything I did up to that point was in preparation, being prepared for that last moment, which meant that I moved slow. Now, you know this because you've been up to a height, by the way, and big respect for that. Don't knock yourself. A lot of people don't do it, okay? But moving slow, eating the right food, keeping your heart rate at a certain level, not getting sort of being like a Tigger, as I say, jumping around, just keeping really sort of in the moment, ego down, etc. is everything I did from Kathmandu, all the way through the mountains, up to base camp, breathing, relaxing, etc. I did that all the way through Camp 1, 2, 3, back down, Camp 1, 2, 3, 4, back down, etc. Because when you move into the death zone, it's a different world. Just to explain to people that don't know, it's about 7,200, 7,500 meters up, which is about 4 miles straight up in the air, if you like. And you've got 30% oxygen going into your body. So if you're not prepared, if you're not relaxed, then the whole thing can take over. You can get anxiety from just the pressure of being up there in that area. The pressure of being up there anyway, the actual pressure can give you blood from your ears and your nose and your eyes and stuff like that, but it doesn't generally happen, but you can feel that pressure. And where a lot of people do fail is that they move too fast. They get overawed by the situation. So just a gentle movement through. I think the advantage I had, because I'm not a mountaineer, the advantage I had was I know how to live on a long-range expedition. So I know how to do that. And I almost take the expedition word out of it and say that this is what I'm doing in this moment of time. This is my life. My existence is being on this mountain. So you take the pressure off yourself. Maybe you can relate that to business, And then when you move through the death zone, every step is a thought. And then you do 6 steps and you think, my God, this is horrendous. And then you look up and everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's moving slowly. Everybody's fighting their own mental battles of pushing their way through. And then you've got to gently go through. But the hardest part of it is, and I'm just going to bring this right back to this moment in time, the hardest part of a mountain is actually a descent. So when you descend from the mountain, that's when you get injuries, you get people messing up because they've probably been to the summit and they're on a high now and they think, oh, the expedition's over with. So when they come down, that's where you see your accidents. When a patrol goes out in the military, they get ambushed on the way back generally because they're thinking of the food and the rest and their mind switching off from that moment. When we're coming, and I thought about this the other day, and it's the first time I've sort of said this analogy out loud, so why not do it to like 60 people? When this moment in time, we can see a slight sort of light at the end of the tunnel, and we're making our way out of the tunnel itself. And my hope is that the government don't overrush this and don't get pressurized by companies saying, go back to work, because we've contained this quite well. The aftermath of the interrogation will be interesting, but at the moment the government are doing quite well. So let's get out of this slowly. Don't worry about business. Don't worry about all that. Worry about lives. That's important. that's what I focused on in Everest, a life, rather than 10,000 kids following my so-called expedition. And get out at the other end, and then we make good.